Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the channel, Shelly's Millions. Today, we're going to talk about the DEI and the No Buy Day, and just kind of my thoughts on no buy in general, and if, what kind of impact a no buy day has. We'll probably also talk about the Oscars because my regular job is managing a movie theater, and tonight's the Oscars, so that's just like a fun little break from the normal finance content. Well, I'm sure we'll talk about the price of eggs. What else are we going to talk about in today's live? I'd like to address one of the comments that came in last week. Someone was like, oh, she said she researched it, but then she Googled it. Yeah, I work full time and I want to make sure that I don't miss anything when I'm sharing it with you guys. I do also want you guys to know where I get my information from. And I do always say, be cautious. There's a scope of different news sources. Some are left leaning, some are right leaning. So it's good to know which are what, so you can kind of gain some different perspective on things. So I'm not ashamed to be like, oh yeah, we're gonna look into this, we're gonna Google it. And then if we Google things and we find articles that are relevant to what we're talking about, then we will go and we'll research those together. All right. So happy Oscar Sunday, everyone. Okay. Let's see here. I think first we're going to talk about the no buy day. So that was February 28th. And the DEI initiative, it kind of we're gonna look up by Googling the definition. Okay, hang on. Okay. No buy DEI. Okay. What does DEI stand for? What does DEI stand for? Okay. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's organizational framework that seek to promote fair treatment and full participation of all people, particularly groups who have historically been underrepresented or subject to discrimination based on identity or disability. Why is there backlash? These are some of the common searches, right? So why is there backlash? The backlash against DEI, and this is the AI overview. So we do need to figure out, if you hover over, it kind of gives you where its sources are coming from. Okay, so the backlash against DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion stems from a combination of factors, including concerns about perceived unfairness towards dominant groups, misunderstandings about the goals of DEI initiatives, political polarization, and a belief that such programs can lead to discrimination against individuals based on merit rather than identity, often causing discomfort among those who feel targeted by these efforts. This can manifest as resistance from people who identify as white, male, or heterosexual, who might perceive DEI as a threat to their status quo or privilege. Okay. So, according to this ABC article, it's saying that, okay, we don't care about the Oscars right now, that President Donald Trump has issued several executive orders aiming to dismantle the diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Hey kids, see you soon.
This is what the family calls a solar eclipse.
Hit pause on that ad so it doesn't make background noise. So he's issued several executive orders aiming to dismantle the DEI initiatives within the federal government, as well as its grantees and contractors. The executive orders put policies and programs targeting discrimination, some that go back decades, on the chopping block. They spoke to DEI experts and consultants about what DEI is and what these initiatives entail. The purpose of the DEI The DEI initiatives are intended to address and correct discriminatory policies or practices that may be found within an organization, according to Tina Opie, a DEI consultant professor at Babson College. Experts told ABC News, this is a long article, so I can't read it all. Well, we could, but I don't think you guys want me to. Experts told ABC News that some examples of DEI initiatives include implementing accessibility measures for people with disabilities, addressing gender pay inequality, expanding recruitment practices among underrepresented demographics, holding anti-discrimination trainings, and more. Diversity refers to representation of people from a variety of backgrounds at all levels in an organization. A diversity of races, genders, disabilities, religions, ages, sexual orientations, class status, military service status, and more, according to Erica Foldy, a professor at NYU's Wagner Graduate School of Public Service. Okay, I skipped a few paragraphs there. When done right, DEI policies improve employee engagement, reduce turnover, and foster innovation and bring diverse perspectives to the table. But the impact depends on how well they're executed. Policies alone don't change cultures. Consistent action and accountability do. Okay, this is where it came from. So, why are conservatives attacking it? DEI initiatives have come under attack by conservative legislators, including Trump, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, and Texas Governor Greg Abbott. The White House argues that DEI creates and then amplifies prejudicial hostility and exacerbates intrapersonal conflict, read one press release on Trump's DEI executive orders. One executive order directs the Office of Management and Budget to terminate all federal programs related to diversity, equity, inclusion, and accessibility, ending any consideration of DEI factors, goals, or policies, and curate list of the economic and social cost of these programs. This includes any environmental justice or equity-related programming. Another executive order directs federal contractors to cease promoting diversity, taking affirmative action, and encourages the private sector to follow suit. The order revokes several decades old or years old executive actions, including the 1965 Employment Opportunity Order, prohibiting hiring discrimination by federal contractors, and its amendments expanding professional development, data collection, and retention opportunities, and the 2011 order requiring federal agencies to develop strategies to identify and remove barriers to equal employment opportunity. I'm skipping some pages. Trump called it an immense public waste and shameful discrimination. Americans deserve a government committed to serving every person with equal dignity and respect, and to expending precious taxpayer resources only on making America great. Okay. But why does he think that's going to do it? Let me try and read some other things. Good morning, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, Sean. Good morning, Rocky. Good morning, Nina. So let me look instead. I feel like Coke was one of the companies that was in the news, and Target. So what DEI initiatives did Target roll back? Seems good. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. That means to please like the video. Okay. Target rolled back several diversity, this is according to the AI overview, that Target rolled back several diversity, equity, inclusion, DEI initiatives, including its racial equity committee, supplier diversity team, and external surveys. The company also ended its DEI goals and racial equity action and change reach initiatives. Target ended its racial equity committee, supplier diversity. Target changed its supplier diversity team to supplier engagement, External surveys. Target stopped participating in external diversity-focused surveys, including the Human Rights Campaign Corporate Equity Index. The DEI goals. Target ended its DEI goals, which included increasing Black representation and advancement. And Target ended its racial equity action and charge reach initiatives. Why did Target roll back these initiatives? Target's decision came after pressure from right-wing activists, conservative legal groups, and conservative-leaning customers. The company's decision also followed President Donald Trump's executive order to review DEI initiatives. Target said it remains committed to creating a sense of belonging for its employees and customers. Okay. And then, oh, interesting. What companies have rolled back their DEI programs? Ford, Walmart, Molson Coors, Harley-Davidson, and Toyota were among the first that were opted to weaken their DEI policies last year as 6 states passed anti-DEI laws. Here's the part that I don't quite understand. Debbie, we're going to do movies because it's the Oscars. Thank you, thank you. It was wild, and then it behaved, and then it's behaving again. Okay. Rocky says, "You've noticed many stores at Target and Walmart have been slow. I also think the prices are high too." Yeah, prices are kind of high everywhere, especially on eggs. um, and the discretionary spending is going down. I read an article this morning or yesterday that said the top 11% of spending is done by, no, most discretionary spending is done by the top 11% of earners in the United States. That's the article I most recently read. The part that I don't understand, right? But it's a slippery slope. I believe you hire the best person for the job, no matter who that person is. I don't think, and let me try and look one thing up really quick. I do think that in California, we were required to have a certain percentage of women sitting on like the executive board, the executive boards of companies. So I'm just going to Google, in California, do companies have to have a certain percentage of women on the board of directors? I don't know. Hopefully it knows what I mean. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, they do. Okay. I don't know if this is a DEI issue. Okay, but California previously required a minimum number of women on the boards of publicly held. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. This is interesting. Local burger prices have rised. And a dozen eggs at Walmart was $8.49. That's so much money. Okay. So apparently a court ruled that the law of having a certain number of women on the boards of publicly held corporations, they ruled that the law was unconstitutional. But okay, we're going to go to the .gov website because you guys know that I like that. Okay. Because this is like, it's an official. It is official. Okay. Okay. This is a whole big thing. Okay. What is the March? Okay. We'll read this part in yellow. Pursuant to the final judgment and permanent injunction filed June 2nd, 2022 in the Superior Court of the State of California, County of Los Angeles, case number blah, 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 and the final judgment and permanent injunction filed July 15th, 2022, in the Superior Court in the state of California, County of Los Angeles, case number blibbity blue, the Secretary of State is enjoined and prohibited from expanding or causing any expenditure of the estate funds or other property of the state on California Corporations Code sections 301.3, 301.4, 2115.5, and 2115.6, the Diversity on Boards statutes. The Secretary of State's office is not currently collecting data related to diversity on boards, and the publicly traded disclosure statement had been revised to remove the 4 data fields which collected such data. Okay. So it looks like that was overturned, but yeah, they were trying to. Okay, this is how I understand it. They were trying to make sure that a certain number of women were placed on the board of directors and corporations, publicly held corporations in California. And um i- I don't know. In theory, right? I'm a woman and I want more women representing these companies. But let's say the company had 100 male employees. Do they hire a stranger just to fill that position that maybe isn't as familiar with that? And is there, is the government spending money making sure that that was happening? And is that necessary? I wish that there was a way to just make sure that we were hiring the best person for the job, qualifications, personality, and I say personality because maybe on paper someone's completed all of this, but they're difficult to work with. That can be a thing, right? So, qualifications, work history, personality, um, like that, all of those kind attendance records, unless it's related to health, that kind of thing. But how do you do that unless there's an organization overlooking it? So I don't know. I don't know what the answers are, but I do see where the where it gets tricky. Okay, Rocky says, when you were an HR manager, we had to have a certain percentage of women in different races as well for our HR compliance yearly check-in. And Rocky was that in the state of California. And that's interesting because I can tell you right now where I work, and I don't know why this is, but the percentage of men applying to work at the movie theater, it's higher than the percentage of women. So, what do you do if you're not getting the applicants? So that's where I think it gets tricky. And that's what I was meaning about like hiring the women on boards. I think, if there's 2 equal candidates and you have equal candidates, right? Personality is good, attendance record is good, work quality is the same. Everybody's a little bit different, but if you have 2 pretty equal candidates and you have 9 male members on the board and you're looking for a 10th, sure, try and maybe you pick the female to have a little bit more of that diversity. But if you don't have any female applicants, to me, it wouldn't make sense to try and go out and find one just to meet the quota. Feel free to let me know if I'm missing something on that. Yeah, absolutely give everyone a chance to show that they can do the job. But what happens hypothetically? So let's say, how can I do this without doing it? So like I just mentioned, right? We're getting a lot of guys apply at the movie theater and not a lot of women. So, um, most retail jobs are going to need you to work nights, weekends, holidays. So, what if none of the women can work nights, weekends, holidays, but all of the men can? As a business, I need to hire the people that can cover the shifts. So, I wouldn't like if we had to hire X number of employees just to meet a quota, but they're not actually able to do the job that that I need them to do. I can see how just requiring a number could make things not go well, right? That's all I'm saying. I think that the point of the policies are well intended, right? I'd love to have a little bit of everybody, right? Everybody. I'm open, but I need their availability to be good. I need, that's really what I need. But barring that, like, you know, and I need I don't know. It's just tricky. Okay. Um okay, Debbie wants to look at the movies. And I do too. I'm going to change the topic. So, we're going to look at the Oscar nominees. How about that? A lot of people definitely catching up on Oscar movies this weekend. I know this is an abrupt change. Um and I guess one more thing before I transition into looking at the Oscars for a bit of fun is I did participate in the no spend. Debbie, I'm so sorry, but I got to look at like what impact did the no spend day have? Did the no spend day have? Let's type in Target. Okay. Okay, how about this? Did the economic blackout day have any impact? While a one-day economic boycott can be a powerful symbolic gesture, its measurable economic impact is typically minimal. Short-term disruptions in consumer spending often lead to delayed purchases rather than actual losses, as businesses and households adjust their behavior before and after the event. Okay. So yeah, it was just for people to come and stand in solidarity and say, we want um, the DEI initiatives to remain in place, and we don't like that you're voluntarily choosing not to participate anymore. Everything is so expensive. So that's kind of my feeling on no buy in general, is that I think we should all be doing no buy days as often as possible. And you know what? Yeah, forget about, I don't mean to dismiss it, but forget about the DEI initiatives for a second and just let's talk about corporate profit, right? Like they're still making decent profits. So I think I like to have no money Mondays. I've talked about this before, but it's where I try not to spend any money at all on Mondays. If I can stretch it, that's even better. But on No Money Mondays, that's where I'm going to open my pantry and I'm going to see the weird stuff that I bought that I haven't eaten. Maybe I've got some soup in there that's about to expire, or I bought some canned coconut milk because I was going to make this Thai mushroom soup. I'm going to get together all my ingredients for that and I'm going to finally make my Thai mushroom soup, which is really good, by the way. It just takes a while to make, and you got to get everything together, right? So I'm going to be looking to use those ingredients in my cupboard. The food that I thought I would want, that I was going to be adventurous and eat, but it never sounds good. Guess what? On No Money Mondays, that's the time where I'm going to get that out of the cupboard, and that's what I'm going to make to eat. And honestly, like, I don't really need to spend. Ooh, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Debbie's wanting to know how much popcorn and a soda now are at the movies. Well, for me, it's free because I work there. You guys might not know this. I don't really drink soda anymore either, because when I was working at the movie theater when I was like 18, 19, 20, I drank so much soda that because it was always free, so you were always refilling it. And finally I was like, I don't want to drink soda anymore, and I just quit. And I think that that's been good for my health. Okay. So, I'll tell you, I will answer that in a second though. But back to No Money Mondays. Eh, I don't really buy anything besides food, quite honestly. I also, when I was in college, went through a big, like, Starbucks phase. It was kind of like a routine, right? Go to Starbucks, get your coffee, go to college, do your classes, go home, grab fast food on the way home. So really where I spend my money on is food. I'm not somebody that goes online and buys a new phone. As a matter of fact, my cell phone case here is like literally falling apart, right? Um, Maybe I should buy a cell phone case. But like my phone is still protected and honestly you don't even really need the phone protector anymore because the phones are pretty sturdy these days. Anyway, so I'm probably not gonna um probably not gonna do that. What else do I buy? Clothes, but I buy work shoes. Work shoes are the big thing I buy. I only buy work shoes when my old pair is either falling apart or really, really uncomfortable. But I have right now, I've got at least 3 pretty good pairs of work shoes, so I don't need any work shoes. Sometimes I do like to go to Disneyland, and I do sometimes I spent some money at Disneyland last year, but this year I'm gonna try not to because I became aware, like, "Oh, yeah, I'm just kind of wasting money, and I'm buying into all this consumerism." Let me mention Costco really quickly because Costco is one of the companies that hasn't rolled back their DEI initiatives, right? And so we're supposed to go out and support Costco, which I love, right? I love that they're I don't know if it's the CEO or the president or what, but he said, "No, we're not gonna stop doing the $1.50 hot dog combo." And I will tell you, the first time I went to Hawaii, very, very broke, very young. I won a trip through work. I couldn't even afford the plane tickets. And we ate a lot of Costco hot dog combos on that trip. And it was fun, right? And I love that they haven't raised the price on that. But I sometimes think Costco is not a good idea to actually like buy the membership. And Costco gas in Hawaii, that is the cheapest place to get gas. So it might be worth it if you're going to be going to Hawaii soon on like a vacation or if you live in Hawaii. But here, I was having to drive further to get Costco gas, and it was actually the same price as Arco gas. And some people say bad things about Arco gas, but I've put that in all of my cars, and all of my cars have lasted a really long time. My current car I bought in 2013. So, no problem. And the Arco gas station's the closest to me, and that's exclusively what I put in it. The cheap 87 gas. But for me, I'm usually up until my mom moved in, I was a single family household. I've had roommates in the past, not really in this house, but like before I bought this house, I always had a lot of roommates. And I felt like it caused me to overbuy. True story. One time I dated this guy, we bought a 5-pound bag of salt. Do you know how long it takes 2 people to go through a 5-pound bag of salt? I'm still going through that salt, and I've had that salt since before I moved into this house, and I've had this house, like, 12 years now. So, like, I just think that it causes people to overconsume, overspend, overbuy, and so I don't think depending on the size of your family and what you're actually gonna use, I don't love spoiled food. As a matter of fact, I'm the one my mom and I, when I go to the grocery store, hi Katie. My mom and I, when I go to the grocery store, we're buying the stuff that's like grocery marked down. So just be careful of that with Costco. Like, I'm all for supporting a business that is keeping the DEI initiatives. I should also say that earlier in the video, I was like, I'm not sure if it works by having those initiatives and that you should hire the best person for the job. But it's kind of like paying taxes, right? We could say, well, we're good people. We'll just donate the money to like organizations that need it. But the problem is, I don't think we would actually do that. So I think that's why the DEI initiatives exist to like make sure to try and make sure that we're all doing the right thing, right? Because it's real easy to just say, "Oh yeah, I think that we should just hire the best person for the job," but how do you determine that that's actually what's being done? And how do you determine, like Rocky said, to give everyone a chance to show that they can do the job? Like, how do you make sure that if there are two equal candidates, let's say a white man and a person of color, how do you guarantee, if the other people, it is nice to have diversity, I think, right? And representation, diverse representation. So those things are important. And without the measures, how do you make sure that we're all trying to do that? I don't know. So I think that's why they're in place. So I think that's why people are frustrated. And those measures definitely include women. That example that I was looking at in California, where it was supposed to have a certain number of women on each the on on company boards. So people of color, women, people with disabilities, we do want to make sure, or at least I want to try and make sure that there's representation in the companies and that companies are doing everything that they can to make sure that they are hiring fairly and with a mindset of wanting to have a diverse team. And in my head, I'm like, well, just give it to the best person for the job. But I do think, unfortunately, that there are times when individuals representing those companies don't do that, and that's where it gets sad, right? Sad, I think is the word for that. Um I think I've been really lucky where I work because I think that, I was raised in California. The company was based in California, so we've always had a lot of diversity, and it's just really nice. It's really nice. Okay. Okay. So the no buy day, no money Mondays. Yeah. So try in general to have like a no money Monday. I might even have like maybe we need like sell it Saturday or saving Sunday where I try not to spend any money or even like make money. Selling Saturday would be like you list stuff on eBay, which I've finally begun doing again, having a little money come in that way. What else? Yeah, saving Sunday would also kind of be like no money Monday. But I've also wondered, like, if you just don't buy your gas until Tuesday, does that still count? Do you just try and do it? What are people spending money on? Debbie asked about the popcorn and the soda at the movie theater. A large soda is going to set you back $8.81, and our large popcorn is $10.89. So you could easily, however, you would just order a large combo, you'd save some money. That's going to get you, I think it's going to be like $18 and some change. At movie theaters, that is where we make all of our money. So if you do go to the movies, I actually do recommend supporting your local theater that you're going to and going ahead and spending the money at the concession stand. I know it's really expensive. So if you can't afford it, no shade. But please don't sneak snacks in from outside. That is how, but if you can't afford it at the movie theater, um, my mom does not want to do YouTube at all, really. Like I didn't ask her today, but almost every Sunday, I ask her if she wants to come in, and she's like, "Nope." I don't wanna do it." So, she does not wanna do that. I might get her to make another video or 2 with me, but for the most part, she does not. I'm like, "But people love when you come on," and she's not interested, unfortunately. Um, However, I think you're just saying, "Could she do the movie portion of it?" She could if she wanted to, but she doesn't want to. She also gets free popcorn and soda though, and we saw the ever so popular, critically acclaimed film Paddington in Peru yesterday. Okay, okay, okay. Do the movies, do the movies. Okay, so Debbie, people are liking The Monkey. It hasn't been attended very well, but it is getting good reviews. Okay. What else do you want with the movies, Debbie? Okay. So The Monkey for horror, and then the films, I would say the 2 films that people are catching up on the most before the Oscars were The Brutalist and a film called I'm Still Here. People are really liking Timothy Chalamet's, performance in, oh my goodness, A Complete Unknown. He plays Bob Dylan. So people are really liking that, but you asked about horror. I don't know. I will say that there is a fun film called Riff Raff. Okay, called Riff Raff, and that looked like a lot of fun to me. It's got Bill Murray in it. It's got Pete Davidson. It's got, who else does it have? I don't know of any monster movies right now. Ba, 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 ba. If there's a specific one, okay. Katie says 7-Eleven candy bars are $3. A small value menu Jack in the box is $2 plus. That's easy to see inflation. It is, it definitely is. And I remember like you can still get like a box of candy at the dollar store for $1.25 of the small value meal drink. Something that I cut out a long, long time ago when I was trying to save money is the drinks. It is crazy how much a drink adds on to the entire value, not value, cost of a meal. When my mom and I go out to eat, she often, like I just mentioned earlier in today's live, which I've never mentioned before, is I don't really drink soda, but my mom does like a Diet Coke every now and then. So a lot of times, and Taco Bell is my favorite place to eat out. So a lot of times, like I get like the $7 box from Taco Bell, which comes with a drink. And so I'll give my mom the drink from that, and then I just order a cup of water. I think that's better for your health. I don't understand sodas, right? Clearly, I'm overweight. I'm not the healthiest person. I just talked about like eating Taco Bell and fast food. I love salty foods. I love cheese. I love dairy. But something about a soda, it just seems like, what is in that? It's just all chemicals, right? Anyway, okay, back to the movies. People are excited, Debbie. I don't know about any monster films coming up. I'm kind of like going through this top one. People are excited about Mickey 17. Oh, interesting. All right. Let's see here. Maybe we'll go through the Rotten Tomatoes Oscar ballot in a second. Riff Raff. Who else is in Riff Raff? So, okay. Jennifer Coolidge. Oh, it's not rated very high. That's too bad because it looked like a lot of fun. Also, I want to see, it's called Flow, which is like, it's like um, it's about a black cat. I don't know if that's actually what it's about, but that's what's on the poster. No. We don't want this. Oh no. Okay. So I'm excited about Flow. Okay, let's just see what Flow's about really quick. It's this black cat. A wondrous journey through the realms, natural and mystical, Flo follows a courageous cat after his home is devastated by a great flood. That sounds sad. Teaming up with a capybara, a lemur, a bird, and a dog to navigate a boat in search of dry land, they must rely on trust, courage, and wits to survive the perils of a newly aquatic planet. Anyway, that looks super cute. So I want to see that. All right. Let's look at the Oscar board. Does the snack? Yes. So we at where I work, we have it's called a freestyle Coke machine. And hi Cindy. We talked a little bit about the DEI initiatives and the No Buy Day on February 28th. Um, yeah, and just my thoughts on no buy in general, which are definitely don't buy it. um, and like what are you guys spending money on? My actual audience, what are you guys spending money on that's not food and gas? I guess that's what I don't really know. Like the pair of jeans that I have on right now, they're about to fall apart, but like I'm gonna wear them till they fall apart. So I don't spend money on clothes. I rarely spend money on Starbucks. So it's mostly groceries, and it's hard to cut money on groceries. Okay. So, but yes, we serve ginger ale. We have one of those freestyle machines. So like it does like 100 different coffees. Hi, Siegel. How are you? Long time no talk. How are you? The brakes in your car are making small creaking noise when you come to a stop, but the brakes are fairly new. Not looking forward to the inspection. Hopefully it's only debris. Okay, Debbie. Yes. At my movie theater, Tuesdays and Wednesdays are the cheapest days to go. Also, we have a loyalty program. Most movie theaters are going to have some sort of loyalty program. They're going to have different tiers. Like I think AMC has stubs but then they also have A-list. A-list is the part where you pay. Stubs is the free part. So make just whatever movie theater you're going to that day, even if you don't go there a lot, see what their free program to sign up for is and do that. Rocky is reminding everybody to like the live. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Ba, 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 ba. Let's see here. Okay. Let's go over the Oscar ballot really quickly. This is kind of a cool one that I have not seen before. Oh, can you guys even see this? This is little. We might not go over every category, but I found this on RottenTomatoes.com. Okay, Cindy said, I went to Goodwill and bought a $10 bookshelf to put canned goods on. It's to organize my pantry. That is awesome. When my mom moved in, we moved some of her shelves so that we could have more storage for things like that. Susie, I know the eggs are rough. It's really rough. That's exactly the price that Rocky said he paid at his 7-Eleven or not his 7-Eleven, his Walmart as well. Joel said, Siegel, if your brakes are fairly new, like only 8K miles on it, it's probably lubrication lacking in the sliding pins. No big deal, but it just needs to be re-lubricated, not an entire brake job. Thank you, Joel, so much for sharing that. Joel, are you still liking doing the mechanic work? Because I know you were thinking about transitioning to that way back during the pandemic, and then you did transition to that. Are you still like I don't know. I wish I was inclined to do more of a trade job because like I just feel like that has real job security and I think that's nice. So are you liking it? Customers don't believe me. That sucks. Joel, I was told that I need a new oil pan. What happens if I don't replace the oil pan? And how much should that cost on like a Toyota Prius C? Um, okay. I don't know if you guys can see this, but we are going to look a little bit about the movies. So, Best Picture. The nominees are Anora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. From everything I've heard, that's going to go to Anora. Directing, Sean Baker for Anora, Bradley Corbet for The Brutalist, James Mangold for A Complete Unknown, Jacques Audiard for Amelia Perez, and Coralie Fargeet for The Substance. Guys, I'm gonna quit pronouncing the names because, like, even I feel like I should know them, but I don't. Anyway, I feel like that's gonna go also to Anora. I'm probably not gonna go through all like the no, I don't know. Do you want me to go through every category and every nominee? Oops, 7-Eleven. Sorry, I don't know. You could get eggs from 7-Eleven. There's no worry there. Debbie went to Winco and the eggs were $8.19 a dozen. Joel said, I'm not sure the exact cost, but you don't want an oil leak, so it should be changed out. Okay. All right. I will get that done next time I have a day off. Alex says I'm out getting brunch and enjoying mimosas. All right. What flavor? I had a lychee mimosa the other day. Cindy says Indiana, a dozen eggs cost $5, but shortages. Yeah, it's crazy. Out here, $8.49 is pretty common, and I would even say actually pretty good. Okay. So actress in a leading role, Cynthia Erivo for Wicked, Carla Sofia Gasson for Amelia Perez, Mickey Madison for Honora, Demi Moore for The Substance, and Fernanda Torres for I'm Still Here. I would like to see that go to Demi Moore for The Substance. Actor in a leading role, Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, Timothy Chalamet for A Complete Unknown, Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing, Ralph Fiennes for Conclave, Sebastian Stan for The Apprentice. I think it's going to go to Timothy Chalamet for A Complete Unknown. Also, I should mention, even though I work in a movie theater, I don't normally get these right. So these are just my opinions. I have no like insider information and I'm often wrong. So if you guys are doing like an Oscar pool tonight, I'm not the one to trust on that. Okay. Actress in a supporting role, Monica Barbero for A Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande for Wicked, Felicity Jones for The Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini for Conclave, and Zoe Saldana for Amelia Perez. I feel like it might be Zoe Saldana. I don't know. That's gotten a lot of bad press, that film. I don't know. That one I really don't know. It could be anybody. I feel like they're not gonna give it to Ariana Grande. But outside of that, I don't know. Okay, actor in a supporting role. Yura Borisov for Nora, Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain, Edward Norton for A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce in The Brutalist, and Jeremy Strong for The Apprentice. I feel like it's gonna be I don't know. Let's go with Kieran Culkin on that for A Real Pain. Original screenplay, Anora, The Brutalist, A Real Pain, September 5th, or The Substance. I don't know. I think I'm just going to read the categories instead of giving my opinion. I think they're saying it's likely to be Anora, but I think it could be any of those, which is why they're all nominated. Yeah, I'm not gonna. All right, fine. Adapted screenplay: A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Amelia Perez, Nickel Boys, or Sing Sing. That one I think will be Sing Sing. Animated feature: Flow, Inside Out 2, Memoir of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, or The Wild Robot. Usually the Disney Pixar movies are pretty good, but this time I think it's going to be The Wild Robot. Okay, documentary feature. Black Box Diaries, No Other Land, Porcelain War, Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat, or Sugarcane. Maybe Black Box Diaries? Maybe Porcelain War because that has 100% audience rating on Rotten Tomatoes. International film feature, I'm Still Here, The Girl with the Needle, Amelia Perez, The Seed of the Sacred Fig, or Flow. I think it's gonna go to I'm Still Here. Ugh, I don't know. Original score: The Brutalist, Conclave, Amelia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. I feel like that's gonna go to Wicked. Original song: El Mal from Amelia Perez, The Journey from the 6888, Like a Bird from Sing Sing, Mi Camino from Amelia Perez, Never Too Late, Elton John, Never Too Late. I think that's also going to go to Like a Bird from Sing Sing. Sound, A Complete Unknown, Doom Part 2, Amelia Perez, Wicked, The Wild Robot. Probably going to go to A Complete Unknown. I just feel like that's a music movie, so I feel like it's more likely to win. So probably my second choice there would be Wicked, and third would be Dune Part 2. Makeup and hairstyling, A Different Man, Amelia Perez, Nosferatu, The Substance, and Wicked. I feel like that's going to go either The Substance or Nosferatu. Okay. Costume design, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Gladiator 2, Nosferatu, or Wicked. I feel like that's going to go to Gladiator 2. Cinematography, The Brutalist, Doom Part 2, Amelia Perez, Maria, or Nosferatu. I feel like that one's going to go to The Brutalist. Production design, The Brutalist, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Nosferatu, or Wicked. Maybe Wicked on that one. Film editing, Anora, The Brutalist, Conclave, Amelia Perez, and Wicked. I'm going to go with Anora on that one. Visual effects, Alien Romulus, Better Man, Doom Part 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, or Wicked. I think that everybody's saying Alien Romulus, I believe, for that one. Documentary short form, a short film. I haven't seen any of these, so I'm not going to guess on these. But the documentary short films are Death by Numbers, I Am Ready, Warden, Incident, Instruments of a Beating Heart, The Only Girl in the Orchestra. Short film live action, Aline, Anuha, I'm Not a Robot, The Last Ranger, and The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent. Short film animated, Beautiful Men, In the Shadow of the Cypress, Magic Candles, Wonder to Wonder, or Yuck. All right, so those are the Oscar nominees, as well as my thoughts, which don't take those for anything. Okay, Alex says, I felt Conclave was just okay, kind of slow paced and just a lot of talking. Sometimes that's exactly the kind of movie that the Academy seems to like. Rocky says Sunday brunch is always the best. You guys, I'm curious what you think about the DEI initiatives. Did you participate in the no buy day? What do you think about no buy in general? Outside of necessities like groceries and gas, what are you guys spending your money on? Yeah. Cuz I mean, here's the reality of a no buy day as well. Either it's something that you absolutely need, like eggs, and maybe you also need school supplies. So maybe maybe it's just the closest place to you and you need to save gas. So if you're buying your eggs from Target because it's the closest place to you and you need to save gas, even if you participate in the no buy day Monday, maybe you're still buying there on Tuesday, right? And I'm not judging. I would also like to say that. As a matter of fact, that's something that I would usually recommend is saving gas, shopping at the closest store to you, and you have to eat, right? You can't, like, it's all well and good to say I don't want to support this business, but at the end of the day, you have to get your groceries somewhere, right? And for some of us who are really, really on a thin budget, we don't have the extra gas money to drive further, right? So then, what do? I do think if you have the ability to to say speak your mind with your dollars, put your money where your mouth is, kind of, If you have the luxury to drive somewhere further for a business that you would rather support, then I absolutely think do that. If it's gonna cost you more gas money to do that and you can't afford that gas money, go to Target, right? And don't be hard on yourself about that. If you can, like, plan it so that you can buy your eggs a day early or a day late and participate in the no buy day, um, then I support that as well. It's just it stinks, right? It stinks having to make these decisions. Support small businesses if you can. Like, I haven't th sometimes if you're on a road trip and you're going up the 5, like, there's signs that say, like, "fresh eggs," right? I don't think in the city, I don't really think we have that option, but if you do, that would be, like, amazing, is to just support, like, a local farm. Um, yeah, try and, do your shopping from a small business instead of but that's true every day, right? It's just sometimes it's more convenient, and sometimes the word isn't even convenient, sometimes it's more economical. I also something else, you guys, and I haven't been in, like, 10 years, but I used to go to Burning Man. Not, like, a lot, but I've been, like, maybe 3 times. And I saw a bumper sticker there that said something to the effect of, "When I can buy organic fair trade coffee at Walmart prices, that's when I'll stop shopping at Walmart," right? Because Walmart's always been kind of the bad guy for, like, offering really low prices and things like that, and, like, putting smaller businesses out of business because they just undercut them. But the truth of the matter is, as much as I wanna buy small, local, organic, like, I wanna do the right things with my dollars, but then there's the reality of how many dollars I have in my budget. And, um, oh, what's the saying? It's like you can't have caviar dreams on a canned good budget. I don't know. I don't know what that saying is, but it's good to have the intention and to be aware, that, hey, if I'm buying from Walmart, it might not be helping a small business, but at some point, like, that has to be we have to look at our budgets and think about it realistically, and it as much as I might wanna support a small business, my budget just might not allow me to, you know? And I would like to think that all of us, if I could buy a pound of coffee from a local grower who raised everything sustainably, um, or I could buy it from, like, Nestle, a big corporation destroying rainforest or whatever. I'm not saying that they do that, I'm just giving that as an example, like a fictitious example, although I think they do, but it's a topic for another day. If I had the opportunity to buy from someone who was doing business ethically versus somebody who was knowingly doing business unethically, I would always choose to do it the ethical route. But the problem is, it's not $20 for this pound of coffee and $20 for this pound of coffee, right? Maybe it's $20 for the ethically sourced coffee and $5 for the unethically sourced coffee. And that's where it's problematic because that's where inflation is really, like, affecting my decision as a consumer, right? Because I wanna do the right thing and buy from that ethical company, but it's getting to the point where it's too expensive to do that, and at some point, you have to say, "Do I want this fancy organic coffee, or am I okay with, a name brand?" Ugh, it's tricky. Anyway, let me know what you guys are not buying. Let me know if you guys do anything like No Money Monday where you eat the food that you have out of your pantry. Um, yeah, let me know your Oscar predictions in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video. Thank you so much for watching. Shelly's Millions. I will see you next time.